Today I'm going to show you how to dye some regular 80 GSM printer paper to give it this nice tea-dyed vintage look, which looks fantastic in a book. In a jug I have some tea leaves, and you could use tea bags as well. I've just used what I had in the cupboard, and I've used 3 spoonfuls. Next, add some boiling water and let that infuse for a good 5 or 10 minutes. I've left my tea sit for about 7 minutes, so it's had a chance to go nice and dark, and now I'm just going to strain out the tea leaves through a strainer, and inside of that I'm just going to put a little piece of muslin that I have doubled over, and that will catch all the really fine little bits. If you haven't seen muslin before, it's kind of a really fine woven fabric, and it's used in cooking a lot. So if you go to your material store and ask for muslin, this is what you'll be able to get. Now these tea leaves are not wasted. I have used them about 3 or 4 times, and I still can get some really good results from them. Okay, so pour that into a dish that can fit the size paper that you're using. It doesn't have to be very deep. Then take a piece of pattern paper and slide it in and press it down. Give it a few taps, because it is easy to get air bubbles under this, and where there is an air bubble, it's not going to dye the paper, so you're going to end up with some little white blotches in there. How long you leave it depends on how dark you'd like it. I leave it for a good couple of minutes to get this really dark look, but I have left it, probably about a minute maybe to 2 minutes for the light, probably up to about 3 minutes for the dark. Now that my paper has gone nicely brown, I'm just going to take it out and give it a bit of a drip dry, and then put it on some kitchen towel, and I'm just going to blot off the excess. Now you could just let this naturally dry like this, or you could dry it partially with a heat gun. I like to give my pages sort of a bit of a wrinkle so that they're not so flat, and I have about 24 pieces here, and 24 pieces of printer paper when it's really flat is not very big, but this actually ends up being quite a good inside for a book without having to have a million pages inside of it. So if you just go ahead and wrinkle this now, it'll give quite a the wrinkles won't look as good. They'll get sort of moisture in them, and they can tear very easily. So I normally give it just a little bit of a dry with my heat gun first, just to take some of the moisture out, and then I give it a scrunch. So just a light scrunch, and then lay that on a flat surface to dry. I often find that once I've done a whole heap, I normally stack them all up and then pop them under my big heavy wooden chopping board, and that will flatten them out a little bit and make them a little bit more uniform, so for when you're putting them in a book.